I first began my project by throwing a 1.5 pound ball of clay on the wheel, and this was going to be the base of my picture. And throwing is the most time-consuming part of your project process because it takes a lot of time to get the practice that you need to successfully be able to throw a piece on the wheel. Once you finally center your clay, you then can open the dome and begin to make your shape of whatever you need it to be. And here I'm leveling the clay with a needle tool because sometimes it can get out of control. And then you want to make sure that it's not thick and it can go into the kiln safely, so you don't want to make a kiln bomb. And here I'm just keeping the shape very round, building up my picture shape. And I'm also taking a random sponge out of the clay, which is something that's a normal. And then you just want to continue to shape it and carve it as necessary. Then you can begin your drying process, which helps you build up any project that you're going to do with coil, especially since my base was still very moist. If I put coils on top of that, it would have just folded in on itself. Here you see that I've built up quite a bit with coil, and I blend it using the rib technique. I get a metal rib and some slip, and I compress and drag with my thumb, and here that is going to blend easily. Then I'm building the spout of my pitcher, and that was very challenging, but with slip and with blending and compressing, I finally got the shape that I needed it to be. I then scored and slipped a vine design on the pitcher, and after I did that, I decided to add a handle to my pitcher, which I added a design with the daisy press tool, and this helped me create some interest on my handle where it was going to go on my pitcher. I then began to smooth out any areas on the pitcher that needed to be smoothed with a wet sponge, and just making sure to clean everything up nicely for when it's going to get fired. It's important to get any imperfections out now before it is fired so that you don't need to sand the piece and wait a whole day before you can glaze it. Now this is what it looks like after I moved it with a sponge. I then carved my name into the bottom of the pitcher, and it is ready to be thrown into the kiln for its first round of firing.